It's my opportunity to introduce the Dean, Peter Rodriguez, who's also going to give you his welcome. Dr. Rodriguez, thank you very much, and thanks very much for his honor.
Thank you, Dr. Lumsden, and welcome everyone. On behalf of Rice University and the Jones Graduate School of Business, it's my privilege to welcome you here today and to state just how inspired we are by the mission of Pumps and Pipes and by all the people in the room who come together to spur innovation in these ways that I think will be vital not only to our local economy, but to the future of many industries that are vital to the quality of human life we all aspire to improve. I thought I would just say a few words of welcome and speak on my behalf about our educational mission, and I would say a few things about that. One is that I get the great privilege of talking to a lot of students and a lot of scholars all the time, and the number one characteristic I look for is so congruent with something that I hear all throughout the presentation earlier today and throughout the mission of this group, and that's curiosity. It's really the one thing you just can't do without any student. So I know we have a lot of young students in the room, and I would say the most important thing that you can bring to an interview or to a future institution is bring your curiosity. Your capability and your skills are, of course, vital, but a student who isn't curious isn't a great team member. They aren't someone who really puts their whole effort into the process of learning, and they aren't going to be able to be creative and innovative on the back end. So that's the number one thing that I think I see here is this opportunity to bring curiosity to the intersections of these vital industries and draw from them these great possible innovations that can make a great difference for us. So for that, I'm really excited to be here today. I also like to tell people a little bit about how I think about the type of education we provide and the way that we fit into this puzzle of how you draw from these great industries future benefits. And the way we tend to think about it is two ways, and they're sort of slightly opposed to each other, but I hope that I can make it clear how they are not. The first one is that we always think that someone should approach an education as more than simply a means to an end. And that goes back to my first kind of statements. It's one thing, especially in a business school, to think about being educated so that you can achieve and acquire that better job, that better position, that new opportunity that you want. But it's much more than that. It's about being gratified and fulfilled, about learning about the world and about bringing value into the world in that way. And so I always usually start talking to students and I tell them some inspiring story about how being educated has lifted up millions of lives and will lift up theirs, and I hope that they have that as well. But on the flip side, there's the real return to it and the real contribution that is made. And for that, I usually say something that's a little more cynical or a little more straightforward. And I usually tell them that, to any organization out there, in any industry that you go into, not-for-profit, for-profit, you are worth the size of the problem that you can solve. You're really worth the size. We all start that way. One of my first jobs, I was a banker. I worked in exploration and production, lending money to them, and my job was to be analytical. I was a quantitative person. I could do an analysis by myself. You give me the data, I'll give you back exactly the right answers that you need, on time, under budget, hopefully. But that's a relatively small problem to solve. Before too long, what does your boss or what does your organization need? They need you to work with a team of people. They need you to get them motivated, and they need you to solve a larger problem that may be less defined, that may not be able to be defined or solved. Before long, they want you to go beyond that and say, can you find us customers that we don't have? That's a pretty big problem. Can you change the culture in this organization in a way that will actually improve its outcome, that will inspire the people around you to work together and find solutions that don't exist yet? Those are really, really big problems. And that's what we're really focused on. We're here to train people to solve larger and larger problems, the problems that organizations face all across every single industry, and that's what we really bring to bear here today, and that's the biggest part of our mission. We really think of ourselves as problem solvers and giving people all those skill sets. So when you think about the folks in the building and what they do, the research that they bring to bear, my colleague Dr. Jing Zhou will talk a little bit more about her research in that dimension. That's really what we're trying to do, is to contribute to the way that people solve problems in organizations so they can solve the larger problems in society. In general, that's maybe a little bit confining for Rice University, but all of what we do is about problem solving for the betterment of society. And I'd like to just highlight one way in which we do that. In the Jones School, we focus on entrepreneurship and innovation in a very large way. We have two groups that do that on an ongoing basis that I think are distinctive and distinguished for what they do. There's the Liu Idea Lab for Innovation and Entrepreneurship and Innovation, and that stretches around the campus. It combines with the Oshman Engineering Design Kitchen in the School of Engineering to really create leading-edge solutions for practical problems. It's at the intersection of engineering and all sorts of creative fields and business, and that's a fantastic group. There's the Rice Alliance for Technology and Entrepreneurship, a very outward-facing, highly successful group that organizes all sorts of intersections and collaborations for business and operates the world's largest business plan competition at a university. I think that you'll see Rice and Rice University very highly recognized for our work in 24 hours, so just want to plug that. If there's a press release coming, that'll be great, and I think you're coming on the heels of a wonderful moment. But then at the university as a whole, we really take seriously our opportunity to contribute to the livelihood in Houston, to contribute to the future of these industries through the types of collaborations you propose here. Last May, the university solidified one of these commitments when it had a groundbreaking ceremony in Midtown Houston. That's where we're going to launch the ION. I think it's actually one of the logos up there of the ION. This is an investment of about $100 million from Rice University into the creation of a collaborative space, a beacon for innovation and creativity in the industry that will serve as the hub for not only all of the universities in the region, but all of the industries that really contribute to our well-being. A place where they can come together, learn from one another, share lessons, inspire others to take risks, bring together venture-backed sources and new firms, and this is something that we're deeply proud of. So watch that space. You already see construction underway at 59 in Main. There used to be a Sears building there. It's hard to recognize anymore. You can still see the Fiesta on the right, but you watch that space, and Rice University is going to make a real difference for the city of Houston. And we know that we are going to make a real difference today in what you do here and in the years to come. So in closing, I'll just like to say again, thank you very much for choosing Rice University, for being here. Welcome to all of you, and I hope that you have a fantastic day today at this Pumps and Pipes conference. Thank you very much, Dr. Lawson.